Next on Country Style, looking for the simple life in the big city? It's easy with Urban Country Modern. Also, the glitz and glamour of old Hollywood goes country. Plus, the refreshing country air of Nantucket landscape paintings. And spring into country design with these fun accents made from old springs. Welcome to Country Style. I'm Michelle Torres. What do you get when you mix 1 part modern design with 2 parts old-fashioned craftsmanship and then stir in a few comfortable country furnishings? The answer? Simple, relaxed urban living. Country Style. For David Benrud and Greg Foster, the rare chance to buy a vacant lot and build a new home in an old, established neighborhood in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota, was a life-changing event.
We were looking for the opportunity to build a space that was made for us, something that had a more modern floor plan, nice open spaces, windows that an older home didn't offer.
That was 3 years ago, and today their American eclectic cottage-style home with its minimal furnishings and casual country appeal is a model of relaxed urban simplicity. From the very beginning, they knew what they wanted in their living and dining area.
We both kind of believed in the philosophy of using all the space that you build, and so we wanted to do a smaller home but use really great materials.
We were looking to design a house that didn't need to be decorated, that there was enough interest in the architecture and the selection of surfaces, the plastered walls, the recycled floor, that would give it enough interest that you didn't have to wallpaper and add lots of clutter and decoration.
The open, airy living space is a showcase of natural beauty. The recycled wood floor is red and white oak from an old warehouse in North Carolina. Because it is a low grade, it has lots of knots and nail holes for extra texture and character. David and Greg finished the floor with linseed oil rather than varnish or polyurethane, so it will wear beautifully even with their dog, Pear, running across it. The fireplace, set in a striking wall of balanced curves, is also made from natural materials, limestone from Indiana, surrounded by clean-lined cherry and walnut cabinets built in on either side.
With our desire to really maximize the use of each room, we had designed stereo and TV cabinets on either side of our fireplace to incorporate easy access to the electronics and yet bring them out of sight when we're done with them.
The multi-paned windows are Douglas fir from Canada, stained to blend with the floor and cabinets. Left bare, they infuse the room with light and warmth. And to complement all these natural elements, David and Greg painstakingly textured the drywall to look like old plaster.
We chose a plaster veneer as the wall finish throughout our entire house. I think using the same finish helped to create a more spacious feel in this house. We ended up doing the plaster work ourselves through a technique that our builder taught us.
The process involves applying joint compound over drywall. The resulting finish appears amazingly similar to real plaster. Simple furnishings, and not many of them, invite curl-your-feet-up comfort. A cozy love seat and sofa, slip-covered in eggshell-colored linen, are easy care and pet-friendly. Floor cushions made from banana palms provide texture and informal seating, while a bright red junk shop chair offers an unexpected burst of color. This classic yet eclectic approach is very apparent in the dining area, where an ornate antique chandelier serves as a counterpoint to the simple lines of an antique harvest table. And placed minimally throughout the space, accents and accessories add texture and interest, plus the sense of fun and individuality that makes this room so homey and special.
We ended up choosing a lot of things that I think, relate to country, that are practical and simple and maybe a little more rustic.
We were very surprised as to how the house would make us feel. The light, the natural materials, the warmth, it brightens our day every day.
Natural materials, fine craftsmanship, classic eclectic furnishings, and lots of natural light. Put them all together with some modern design, and you've got a perfect space for urban country living. Another one of David and Greg's money-saving ideas that turned out to have super design appeal is their windowsills. Wood molding around the windows was going to be very expensive, so they left it off. The windows are set deep into the walls with only drywall on the top and sides. The sills are simple cut slabs of limestone that cost only about $15 each. They're natural and beautiful, plus they're practically indestructible. Now here's a clever country idea from Country Home magazine. Isn't it about time that you took your decorating to the next level? Compotes are elevating everything from fruit to nuts in today's country homes. We talked with Carol Sheehan of Country Home magazine about this collectible serving piece.
It's very easy to start a compote collection because of their availability and the fact that they're really so affordable. They're made of glass, they're made of ceramic, pewter, wood, milk glass. There's just a huge variety out there to discover.
This sister to the cake stand was originally used to hold its namesake, compotes of fruit. But with a little imagination, you can use the compote to display all sorts of things.
Compotes can be called into service in many different ways. Stack a pair of them and they become a great centerpiece on a table. Use them as a candle stand. In the bathroom, you can put your soaps and other toiletries in there for easy access. Even on a table in the family room, just throw in a collection of your, travel photographs and let everybody kind of have fun.
If it's a dinner party you're having, why not put a compote to work? Just alternate plates and napkins on top for an elegant yet functional display on a buffet. Even orange marmalade jam becomes more special when served up in a pair of sterling compotes. And don't just think of compotes as standalone accessories. Like most country collectibles, compotes look great grouped together.
If you're lucky enough to have amassed a collection of compotes, a great way to enjoy them would be to put them out on a shelf. They're just really great as an individual piece as well as in a grouping.
A matching pair can even stand in as bookends. Whatever your preference, standing alone or grouped together, your country displays will soar to new heights when you take them up a level and into a compote. Coming up on Country Style, the glamorous mystique of 1930s Hollywood with the country style twist. And later, seasonal, whimsical, or just plain pretty, ideas for designing a country mantle.
Start with a room, scramble it up, and put it back together. Design Remix, tomorrow night at 8, only on HGTV. Sometimes the best fix is a remix.
Style. Between Bel Air and Beverly Hills, you could feel it everywhere. Glamorous, elegant, romantic. It was an era personified by one man, Humphrey Bogart. Thomasville presents the Bogart Collection, now at special savings. Piece by piece, room by room, designed with all the elegance of one of Hollywood's most romantic legends. Classic, inspired, Bogart, only at Thomasville. Every great room starts with an adjective. What's yours?
Non piangete per me, ragazzi. Mamma. Ho avuto una vita lunga e felice. Ho avuto tutto ciò che desideravo. E ho fatto tutte le esperienze possibili. Ho fatto... Mamma. Damn. Mamma.
Celebrate President's Day with savings from Hancock Fabrics. February 17th through President's Day, save 25% on home decorator fabrics in hundreds of prints, solids, textures, and colors. Bring your style to life at Hancock Fabrics.
Pepe, madame.
Add more flavor the fun way with new McCormick grinders.
Monsieur. Pepe, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle.
Grinders from McCormick. The taste you trust.
When you drive, it pays to see what's ahead. That's why you need new wiper blades from Anco. In bad weather, Anco's exclusive design scoops water up and clears it away. That's one reason more drivers choose Anco. Anco, the clearest choice in wiper blades. For better vision, TrueView headlamps from Wagner provide a truer, whiter light without offensive glare. TrueView headlamps from Wagner. It's what light should look like.
Tonight on Divine Design.
A dull and dated bedroom gets a glam Hollywood style update. It's time for this space to change in a big way.
Then at 10:30,
big things are happening in this basement.
Back-to-back episodes of Divine Design tonight at 10 on HGTV.
Welcome back to Country Style. Decorating your first living room can be so exciting, but sometimes you have to live in a room for a while to understand its personality and style. By taking your time, you get to try out different styles, bring in things you like, move them in and out and around until one day your room looks like it's always been this way. This glitzy, glamorous San Francisco living room, for example, looks as if it could have been lifted intact from the set of a 1930s Hollywood movie. But this living room is not an old Hollywood set, nor did it arrive in one piece. It's a stylish country room filled with antiques that came together slowly over time. It all happened after antiques dealer Lynn Goldfinger Abram and her husband Laith Abram bought their house 4.5 years ago.
Our home is a typical row house here in San Francisco. It's in the Deco Moderne style. It was built in 1939. It has a flat roof and glass block floor to ceiling and then high ceilings with a parquet wood floor.
The living room was already painted a creamy, yellowy white when Lynn and Leif moved in. And although Lynn considered changing the color, she soon decided she liked its airy freshness. What she didn't know at first was what style the room should be.
When we first purchased the home, I wanted to do a sort of 50s deco era furniture, which is blonde wood furniture and these plastic 50s lamps. As I lived in the house, it just felt like too elegant of a home to have this sort of 50s kind of borderline kitsch furniture. So I started to bring in more upscale pieces.
Lynn began adding stylish antique pieces, one at a time, choosing things simply because she liked them. A curvy French side table from the 1920s or 30s, with its legs cut down to coffee table height, introduced an elegant touch. 2 gilt chairs from the old Crown Room in San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel intensified that look even more.
I was just so excited when I found this chair and realized that it was from the Crown Room in the Fairmont Hotel. A room that had many memories for me, my family. We used to have Sunday brunches at the Crown Room, and it's a beautiful room on top of the Fairmont. I was so thrilled to find these chairs from the Fairmont, partly because of their historical value and the elegance and the fact that they really worked in with the house.
With the Crown Room chairs, the room's 1930s glamour look really began to gel. But as Lynn kept trying more and more pieces, she discovered, surprisingly enough, that what worked best for this old Hollywood motif was a country design mix and match of many different styles and periods. The silky gold club sofa and olive green polka dot chair was actually part of Lynn's original kitsch look, but they work great for this retro movie set style. Italian mirrored tables from the 1940s and 50s, clean lined and boxy, add balance and a glistening openness to the space. And the contemporary sleekness of a straight-legged 1960s chair turned out to be the perfect foil to the curvy elegance of the earlier pieces. Once Lynn had grown into the room's style, choosing accents became a fun treasure hunt. A candelabra from France, Italian crystal sconces, and some whimsical fun from a collection of antique tiaras. They all add extra design sparkle to push this country glam look even more. But the prize accent, and one that totally unifies the room's Hollywood air, is the enormous hand-tinted photograph hanging behind the sofa.
I stumbled upon this wonderful piece at an antique market in San Francisco. I just fell in love with it. I thought it would fit wonderful with the Hollywood style I was creating in the house. It's actually a photograph that's been hand tinted, and the back of it says Cincinnati Opera. I'm not really sure of its history, but it was just a great piece, and it's sort of Marilyn Monroe-esque.
Growing into the look of a space, letting a new home tell you what it needs, taking your time, they're all part of the ongoing pleasure of living with country design.
One of the classic focal points of many country rooms, no matter what the style, is the mantle. Here's some expert advice on turning a mantle into a unique design statement.
Mantles don't always have to be symmetrical. Think about your collections and start moving around, arranging, look at color and form and shape and height, and think about how well it would balance. Of course, if it works out to be perfect symmetrical, that's wonderful too. And even sometimes things can be exactly the same, and that can be interesting. But try to look at it with fresh eyes so that your mantle is unique.
Nothing is more country than something from nature. So my suggestion would be to reflect the seasons on your fireplace mantle. Don't put one thing on the mantle and leave it there forever. If you get your inspiration from nature, you can get evergreens and holly at Christmas time, or small pumpkins, mini pumpkins and squash in the autumn perhaps, and fresh cut flowers from your garden in the summertime. And you'll have a changing display on your mantle. Think of the scale of the mantle, the size of the fireplace and the mantle, of course, and the colors in the room. But take your inspiration from nature.
We love collections on a mantle. You could do a wonderful nature collection with funny little nests that you find, or feathers, or just interesting books about nature. You could do clocks, a collection of clocks that are just little found objects. Anything that is just interesting to look at, anything that draws your eye to get kind of the whole picture, the warmth of the fire with a real neat collection of loved things.
Because the mantle is often the focal point of a room, designing it can be intimidating. But experts say don't let it be, and don't be afraid to be a little daring. Plus, feel free to change the look as often as you like. Just consider the mantle a perfect place to showcase and display your country style.
Coming up next on Country Style, capturing the freshness and beauty of the country landscape with oil paintings. And later, put a little spring into your country displays with fun and unusual accents made from worn-out springs when Country Style continues.
Tomorrow night on Design on a Dime, her boring bedroom is stuck in the 80s.
I need help.
It's Design on a Dime to the rescue.
We are well on our way to a Victorian hideaway.
With warm colors and custom pieces.
I'm really excited about it.
Design on a Dime, tomorrow night at 10 on HGTV.
What's the most embarrassing thing that could happen to a girl? Actually, a leak would be worse. That's why Tampax Pearl has a unique absorbent braid to help capture leaks before they can happen. Embarrassment happens. Leaks shouldn't. Tampax Pearl.
Blondes, defend yourself. Defend your fabulous, get noticed, light up a room, blindingly beautiful blonde hair from the attack of dulling residues. Because used daily, Sheer Blonde Shampoo and Conditioner by John Frieda instantly refreshes and perfects your treasured highlights, revitalizes whatever shade you are, so you can stay your lightest and brightest, your best blonde ever. Stand up for your blonde with Sheer Blonde from the professionals at John Frieda.
I love Tostito Scoops. Oh, you are so grounded. Huh?
Tostito Scoops, the only tortilla chip with a unique bowl shape, so you get the perfect dip every time. All with 0 grams of trans fat.
Ooh, Tostitos.
We should do this more often.
Tostitos, share something good.
Biggest news for your smile since fluoride? It's liquid calcium in Arm & Hammer Enamel Care toothpaste. To help restore enamel luster, it's baking soda and liquid calcium. Goes on, fills in, restores luster with daily brushing. Nothing else like it. Enamel Care.
Today, I will invent a trick that will forever be named after me.
A better day starts with a better breakfast. A better breakfast starts with Silk. No cholesterol, less saturated fat, more possibilities.
You're late.
Silk, rise and shine.
You are a traveling movie theater. You are a roving jukebox. You have no wires to hold you back. Introducing the HP Pavilion Notebook with Intel Centrino mobile technology, starting at $9.99 after rebates. Connect, download, and print remotely with built-in wireless capability. Listen to music or play DVDs at the touch of a button with HP's exclusive Quick Play feature and optional remote control. Sit back and enjoy your favorite movies, alone or with a friend, on the high-definition widescreen display. Call now, and for a limited time, get a free CD burner upgrade and a free HP printer. And let us help you customize your notebook. The HP Pavilion Notebook with Intel Centrino mobile technology. It's the home theater for when you're not at home.
Welcome back to Country Style. I'm Michelle Torres. Now, in country design, we talk a lot about focusing a space. It could be a rug that anchors a room or a dramatic grouping of sofa and chairs. One of the classic elements, though, for drawing the eye into a certain area is a painting.
Paintings come in all sorts of subjects and categories, but one kind that seems especially suited to country design is landscapes. We met a Nantucket, Massachusetts artist whose outdoor scenes bring all the liveliness and beauty of nature right indoors. This quiet studio off the main street of historic Nantucket is crowded with outdoor scenes. Beaches, moors, lighthouses, country roads, village streets, they're all Nantucket landscapes painted by artist Ilya Kagan. Ilya fell in love with Nantucket as a child during summers on the island. The few years he spent in New York City after college just weren't the same. He missed the beaches and the sea breeze. So 8 years ago, Ilya and his wife Wendy Rouillard moved here permanently. Ilya is a plein air painter in the Impressionist tradition. Plein air is French for in the open air, which means Ilya paints his scenes outdoors with oil paints, but is also found in a studio, adding final brushstrokes to a painting.
I tend to work large, but I work in all different locations all over, both the island and wherever I go. I say, have easel, we'll travel, so. I find that working in the studio versus working outside is also a little bit like in music, a live performance versus a studio performance. In that you can get a little more clean and polished in the studio, but you lose a little bit of the spontaneity, whereas working outside, it's almost like a performance.
Ilya paints only in oil on linen canvas. Because oil paints dry more slowly than acrylics, they give him the freedom to continue working on a painting over several days or weeks.
There's a lot of discipline. I work on anywhere from 2 to 4 paintings during the course of a day, so I'll have a morning painting, an afternoon painting, an evening painting, so that I have something going for each light and each weather condition.
In his studio, Ilya adds the finishing touches.
Things like the details on a boat, the highlights and reflected lights on plants and flowers. Things that you can't really do when the wind is blowing.
An original oil painting is an investment in beauty and time, and when it comes to selecting and buying one, Ilya thinks you should trust your own eye.
There aren't any specific rules to painting or to purchasing art. In the end, it's what affects you that's all important. There are so many different styles of art to choose from, and they're all valid in their own right. A piece of artwork can act as a window into another world within a room. It really can add a whole different dimension to the room because it can take you to a different place.
So when you're looking for something to focus a country-style space, something wonderful that catches your eye and draws everything together, see what the light and shadow of a landscape can do.
Coming up on Country Style, design experts Sue Whitney and Kai Nassauer spring into action with inventive ways to recycle old springs.
Here's another great idea from HGTV's Design on a Dime, brought to you by the Home Depot.
Hi, I'm Summer Balzer from Design on a Dime. Here's an easy way to make a great message board for your kitchen.
Create a chalkboard on any available surface with chalkboard paint. It goes on like regular paint and costs just $1 or $2 more a quart. It's quick and easy and fun for the whole family. For more great ideas, check out hgtv.com/DOD.
We can wait to pay for it, but we can't wait to show it off.
At the Home Depot, you can, because we're driving down costs every day. Now through President's Day, get no payments, no interest for 12 months on any purchase of $2.99 or more with your Home Depot or Expo consumer credit card. Plus, get $5 off by mail on all 1-gallon cans of Behr interior paints. It's now through Monday, and it's only at one place.
The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
Some people dream of a getaway car. The all-new 240-horsepower Buick LaCrosse.
A $100 Marriott coupon is waiting for you. Simply visit Buick.com, download a certificate, and test drive a new Buick this weekend.
To help prevent a heart attack, 81 milligrams is the dose of aspirin doctors recommend most. So St. Joseph only makes that dose.
Be sure to talk to your doctor. St. Joseph, America's original, just for the heart.
Style. Between Bel Air and Beverly Hills, you could feel it everywhere. Glamorous, elegant, romantic. It was an era personified by one man, Humphrey Bogart. Thomasville presents the Bogart Collection, now at special savings. Piece by piece, room by room, designed with all the elegance of one of Hollywood's most romantic legends. Classic, inspired, Bogart, only at Thomasville. Every great room starts with an adjective. What's yours?
Only a Moen faucet puts pause control right at your fingertips. It'll help you with those important tasks. Or not. Moen. Buy it for looks, buy it for life.
Welcome back. It used to be that when a spring was sprung, you took it to the junk pile. And that's exactly where design experts Sue Whitney and Kai Nassauer head when they need an old spring for one of their inventive country accents.
To look at these clever country candlesticks with their deep swirls and curves and lovely old patina, it's hard to imagine they were nothing more than worn-out bed springs.
Bed springs make great junk. You can only imagine how many projects you can complete out of just one frame.
All you need is a bolt cutter for our favorite project, artichoke candle holders.
Once you've made your big candle holders, you'll still have lots of smaller bed springs. And that's good news, because they're just right for holding keys.
If you're like Sue and can't ever find your keys, we have the perfect solution. We mounted a rod and springs on old beadboard.
Then the smaller bed springs are simply hung on the rod, giving an easy place to hang and find your keys. And bed springs aren't the only country accents to be that get tossed out. There are lots of sprung door springs out there just waiting for a creative touch, like mounting one to an old baseboard to create a letter holder. Another of Sue and Kai's door spring inventions is a pot rack.
All we did was combine architectural pieces with industrial piping, added the springs, and created a wonderful space-saving pot rack.
Springs have a special kind of energy. They're tough and functional. Their classic spiral shape makes them decorative in their own right. And when you mix in a little creative flair, you've got country accents springing up all over.
There are always great new ideas in country design. I'm Michelle Torres. Thanks for joining us.
Joan Steffen redesigns a cluttered living room with